one of the reasons I stay away from the dollar, because it's fiat. Fiat means government decreed. That means Biden saying, trust me. And then Kamala, oh my God, the border czar, or whatever she is. And they open the border up and going, oh my God, are we nuts? Has this country gone nuts?
What happens if inflation stays at 7%, mortgage rates? 9%? The real estate market would get crushed at 9%. It would probably fail dramatically at anything over 6 or 7%, if I had to guess. So this inflation rate that we have and the scarcity of products out there or materials is a big caution sign, I believe, for people over the next couple of years. Higher interest rates, so on and so forth, will naturally follow if they can't get this inflation under control. Very positive for precious metals. I think positive for the crypto market, probably inflation positive for the real estate market, not so positive for stocks and bonds and some of the other areas that look like they're in bubble land.
I don't save dollars. I mean, since I don't need dollars because I use debt, so my thinking is opposite. But I save gold, silver, and Bitcoin. And the reason is gold and silver are God's money. Bitcoin is people's money. But more specifically, gold, silver, and Bitcoin are not controlled by the Fed or U.S. Treasury. God's money and people's money versus fiat currency, what I call fake money. The more they print of it, the more worthless it gets. And the primary, right after the biggest crash came in March of 2020 in world history. Nobody even knew it because the coronavirus was everybody's so terrified of that. But the market took the biggest drop in world history. And so there was a cover up the Fed's printing of money. But the reason they print money is to bail out their friends. It's like I was a pilot in Vietnam. It's called, you got to provide air support. So they provide cover, stock market gets jacked up, and then the rich sell out. And then they keep telling the average guy, invest for the long term. So the stimulus package was air support or air cover for the rich to get out. It's my sick opinion. At the same time, it screws the working class, anybody working for money. Because you're working for money, you're saving money, taxes keep going up, you make more money, more taxes go up. And I think the good news is a few people are waking up to it today.
From a financial standpoint, you look at a few things. You look at scarcity of computer chips, of metals. That is what happened in 1970. For anybody who wasn't around in 1970, you had to get in line to get gasoline, if everybody remembers that, right? Some of those same things are starting to happen. And then you look at the inflation rate, all the way back to 1978. I don't believe anybody thought that we would get an inflation rate at 7%, still have interest rates below 3%.
If inflation rates go up, how does that affect precious metals like gold and silver?
Well, if we look at history and we just go back the last time inflation was trading at 7%, 1978, the metals market was trading right around $375 an ounce. Silver was trading right around $7, $8 an ounce. By 1980, the inflation rate had gone up to 14.5%. Interest rates, as everybody knows, went up to 15%. And the price of gold went from $375 all the way up to $850. The silver market went to $49. So gold and silver are typically very good hedges against inflation. A lot of people say higher interest rates hurt the precious metals market, and I kind of laugh. If interest rates were at 15% and the precious metals at the time was at an all-time high of $850 an ounce back then, interest rates played a role in getting the precious metals up to those numbers. Usually higher interest rates are bad for the stock market, great for, precious metals.
I didn't understand royalties until a few years ago. I was stupid enough to start my own gold mine, my own silver mine, which I'll never do again, because people say, well, why won't you do this? It's because owning gold is cheaper than starting a gold mine. You have no idea. What he was talking about there is called country risk. Most gold mines and silver mines are in hostile countries. They don't like us. And they can take your gold mine in a flash. And that's what the Chinese did. So China is today one of the biggest producers of gold, thanks to my gold mine. God bless them. I'm not blaming the Chinese people, but it's your government. And when they're here to help you, you're in trouble. I've actually traveled the world looking for, I've been to Argentina, bought a silver mine out there, But the thing that really convinced me was I went to Peru in 1989, I think, whatever it was. And I'm standing in the Andes, and I was about at 14,000 feet. I was passing out because I couldn't even breathe. And I look on this mountainside, and I see these little holes going up the mountainside. And so I asked the guide, I call him the little Inca, he's Peruvian. So what was that? He says, that was the Inca, or the indigenous people at that time, looking for gold and silver. And I went, so this is before telegraph, this is before internet. What were these guys who are primitive people with no information from the outside world? They're as isolated as they can be, but they were tracking this vein going up this mountain. He says, and this other guy, he was a priest, he says, because gold are the tears of God. Human beings know intuitively, instinctively, that it's real, it's God's money. I sincerely believe that everybody should have some real gold, silver, and Bitcoin in their portfolio that they control. The word is control. And the reason gold, silver, and Bitcoin are similar, or cryptos, is because of the limited supply. And the supplies are getting more limited, and as the worlds get more dangerous, gold and silver become more scarce because more and more bankers are holding on to it. But also, for some reason, gold and silver are always deposited in the most dangerous places on earth, in dangerous countries. So all of these are factors that go into when I sit on Lair Capital on Fox Television and I say, I buy silver. There's a reason for it, and not because I'm getting compensated. One big reason I recommend silver is, as Kevin already mentioned, not too long ago in the 80s, silver was $50 an ounce, and gold was like $800. Today, gold is at $1,800, but silver is now $25 an ounce. And silver is an industrial metal. It means it's used in batteries, solar, all this stuff, and there's less of it. So when I say silver at $25 an ounce, that's like saying Apple at $50 a share, or Bitcoin at $3,000 a share. That's how I look at it.
Before we continue, help us clicking that YouTube like button and subscribe now to our channel. This shows the algorithm that you valued this information. And it helps us spread that message. Sharing is caring. And now, let's continue.
Do you want to know one thing about crypto? I made over 3,000% in profit in a few weeks. Fact is, the traditional financial system, the traditional money system makes you poor, not rich. If you want to earn $500,000, $1 million, you have to wait until you're 50, 60, 70 in the traditional financial system, and you probably will still be broke. And you will be old. This is not a sexy combination, as you can imagine. But the question is, how can you start in crypto and make these profits? Where to invest? Where do you start? My name is Gunnar and I'm from Germany, as you can hear, and things are a little bit different in Germany. More about that later on. Fact is, there are lots of different cryptocurrencies. It's a gigantic universe where beginners and professionals get easily lost. But there is light at the end of the tunnel. There are 7 key steps you need to follow to become successful in this market. You have to know them, and if you fail one of them, it's literally impossible to succeed in this market. Just an example, one of the key points is your exchange, and one of the biggest are, for example, Binance and Coinbase. These are trusted and well-established exchanges, but, and this is a big but, you won't find the super profitable coins on those exchanges. The unknown super profitable coins that get gigantic profits are not traded on those kind of exchanges. They are traded on much smaller insider platforms that are barely known. And I can tell you what those super secret exchanges are and why they are so profitable. And another super important thing are the right information sources. The point is, the internet is gigantic. There are hundreds and hundreds of YouTube channels, blogs, pages, and much more. And there are also market makers and influencers. For example, Elon Musk, he is not a crypto guy, but the moment he recommended Dogecoin, it went through the roof, to the moon, so to say. But why did he recommend it? Where did he hear it from? He didn't hear it from newspapers. And believe me, he is listening to someone. But you have to know who, and you have to react before he is reacting. This is really important. And these are only 2 of the 7 steps you have to follow in order to be successful in crypto. And if you want to know all of these steps in much more detail, and if you want to have a comprehensive checklist, here's what you should do. There is a link below this video. Click on this link and you will get the opportunity to subscribe to my channel. Click on the link and you will see a video where I explain the next steps. So see you soon. Click on the link now. I'll see you there.